Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban, after 19 years of what looked like a power-love marriage, are officially calling it quits. And there's so much drama behind the headlines, from custody battles to secret moves to whispers that their entire world was just drifting. First off, Nicole filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences. But friends whisper that this wasn't a sudden breakup. They say Keith quietly moved out months ago, setting up his own place while touring, leaving Nicole to feel like their lives just weren't lining up anymore. Some insiders believe the distance was obvious for a while. His life on the road, her life in film, them missing each other more than they missed together. Now, custody is weirdly detailed. In the legal filings, Nicole emerges as the primary residential parent for their two daughters. According to the plan, she'll have the girls 306 days a year. Keith would get them for 59 days, mostly weekends, and they even divided up holidays. But here's the twist. They agreed not to badmouth each other to their kids, in writing. That's very mature, or very strategic, depending on how you see it. Money? They've split almost everything. According to documents, they each keep their own bank accounts, investments, and real estate. Their stuff is separate, even down to airline miles and credit card points. Yes, they actually divided up their hotel points and airline loyalty rewards. And get this, both of them waived spousal support. Nicole's not asking for money from him. What's even crazier? Keith is reportedly already being linked to a younger woman in the music industry. Word on the street is that people in his circle are whispering about this new relationship. Whether it's real or just gossip, well, that's what adds the spicy layer to this entire breakup. Nicole's not just sitting and sulking either. After the announcement, she was spotted out and about. She went hiking with her sister. People say she's leaning on family hard right now. There's a lot of hurt in her circle, but also a quiet kind of strength. She's also wrapped up work on big projects, and some say she's channeling all this heartbreak into her art. On Keith's side, during his tour, he opened up in a way that feels telling. He admitted that being on the road is lonely, miserable even. Early mornings, sleeping on a tour bus, missing home. He said it all. Now, after the split news, those confessions land a little differently. Maybe he was building up to this. Maybe the road was tearing up more than just his sneakers. Some fans think Nicole might take him back. Yes, you heard that right. There are whispers that in private, she said she'd get back with Keith in a heartbeat. Why? Because she loved him deeply, and the split may have blindsided her more than anyone else. But then again, other insiders say she believes she's done with that chapter. She's ready to rebuild, for her daughters and for her own future. There's also speculation about their massive real estate empire. They own a fancy home in Nashville, but they also have properties in Australia and other places. According to reports, Nicole wants to stay in their Nashville house for now. Maybe until the girls are older, or maybe to hold on to a piece of what was once their dream. Then the emotional side, Nicole recently opened up about feeling broken as she goes through this divorce. She talked about how relationships change, how heartbreak is messy, and how healing takes time. Her friends say she's not angry, she's just sad, but hopeful. She believes she can make it through, and she wants her daughters to see that strength. Meanwhile, Keith is leaning into his music more than ever. Some insiders believe this split will fuel his next songs. Heartbreak plus life on the road equals country gold. Others say he's trying to prove something to the world, to himself, maybe even to Nicole. And here's the question hanging over all of this. Will they ever come back together? Part of her circle thinks she might, that she's been blindsided but not broken. Another part says this is a clean break, separate lives, separate futures, and very different dreams. But one thing's for sure, this divorce feels like more than a breakup. It feels like the end of an era, the end of a storybook pairing, and both of them are stepping into their next chapter separately, but in full.
people are saying Keith Urban might be romantically linked to his own guitarist, Maggie Baugh. And get this, it's all happening right in the middle of his split from Nicole Kidman. But here's where things take a twist. A close friend of Nicole has just spoken out, completely denying the claims. So what's really going on here? So here's how it started. A few days ago, social media lit up with clips from Keith Urban's latest tour performances, and people noticed something. During several shows, he and guitarist Maggie Baugh seemed unusually close on stage, the kind of chemistry that makes fans pause the video and hit replay. You know how the internet works. Within hours, TikTok was flooded with side-by-side clips of them performing together, smiling, leaning in close, and laughing during songs. Now, to some, it looked like harmless stage energy, but to others, it looked like something more. And that's when the rumors began to snowball. Comments flooded in saying things like, "No wonder Nicole filed for divorce," and "You can tell they've got history." Pretty soon, entertainment blogs picked it up, and the headlines wrote themselves. But here's the twist. While everyone was speculating online, Nicole Kidman's close friend came forward to shut it all down, saying the entire story is false and completely out of proportion. Still, you know how these things go. When people start denying rumors, it often makes everyone look even closer. What do you think? When you see celebrities laughing together on stage like that, does it always mean something more? Let me know down below.
Before we go deeper, let's talk about who Maggie Baugh is. If you're not familiar, she's a rising country musician. And not just a guitarist, she's a violinist, songwriter, and performer who's worked with several big artists in Nashville. She joined Keith Urban's touring band last year and quickly became one of his standout musicians, thanks to her stage presence and energy. Fans describe her as the spark of Keith's shows. She's got charisma, confidence, and she knows how to connect with a crowd, which is probably why this rumor exploded so fast. But here's where it gets interesting. Maggie has always spoken highly of Keith in interviews. She once said that playing alongside him was a dream come true, and that he's one of the most inspiring mentors in country music. Still, fans are reading between the lines now. Some claim that her admiration for him might have crossed interpersonal territory, though again, that's speculation. And even if it's not true, it's clear that the internet has made up its mind. The thing that makes this rumor believable to so many fans isn't just what's being said, it's when it's being said. Because think about it. Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman announced their separation just weeks ago. And almost immediately after, Maggie started getting more attention than ever before. People noticed that Keith seemed extra energetic on stage, smiling more, and even making small talk with Maggie during performances, moments that fans caught on camera. Then, a few behind-the-scenes photos from the tour surfaced, showing Keith and Maggie traveling together with the band. Totally normal in the industry, but the gossip blogs ran with it. Too comfortable, too close, too soon. Those were the phrases popping up everywhere. Now, sources close to Nicole have insisted that the split had nothing to do with another woman. One insider even told E! News that their separation was simply the result of distance and different priorities. But even that statement didn't stop the speculation. In fact, it made people dig deeper. Because if it wasn't another woman, then why did Keith suddenly seem to move on emotionally so fast? That's the question fans can't stop asking.
Here's where things take a turn. Nicole hasn't publicly addressed the Maggie Baugh rumors at all. Instead, she's been focusing on her daughter, Sunday Rose, traveling and attending events like Paris Fashion Week. But let's be honest, even without saying a word, Nicole's body language has people talking. At recent appearances, she's been smiling, but fans say she looks emotionally distant and tired behind the eyes. One report even claimed that Nicole was devastated by how fast Keith moved on, even if it's just gossip. And when you think about it, after nearly 2 decades of marriage, that kind of heartbreak doesn't just fade overnight. Still, Nicole's close friend told the Daily Mail that she's trying to rise above it all, saying, "Nicole is focusing on her kids and her work. She's hurt, yes, but she's not dwelling on rumors. She's stronger than people think. It's a classy response, but fans are reading between the lines again. Is she just being strong publicly while dealing with heartbreak behind the scenes? What do you think? Do public figures really move on that easily?
Now, here's the part everyone's curious about. What does Keith Urban himself have to say about all this? Well, officially, nothing. He hasn't addressed the rumors directly, his team hasn't released a statement, and Maggie Baugh hasn't commented either. But fans are pointing to something subtle: Keith's social media posts. In one of his latest captions, he wrote, "Grateful for the people who make the music mean something." To most people, it's just a generic post. But to gossip lovers, it sounded like a message, maybe even a quiet nod to Maggie, who's become a core part of his performances. Some even pointed out that his new single, Straight Line, includes lyrics like "burning out in circles, trying to find a way back." Could it be a message about his marriage? Or is it just artistic coincidence? You decide.
So let's go back to the denial. Nicole's friend says the rumor about Keith and Maggie is absolutely false. But as we've seen 100 times in Hollywood, a denial doesn't always end a rumor. Sometimes it just adds fuel. Remember when Olivia Rodrigo denied dating Zach Bia? Or when Harry Styles said he wasn't with Olivia Wilde? People didn't stop speculating. If anything, the internet dug deeper. And now it's happening again. Some entertainment insiders are saying that even if there's nothing romantic going on, the optics are still messy. Because let's face it, when you're newly separated and constantly seen laughing and sharing emotional songs with your guitarist, people are going to talk.
Now, here's something most people haven't heard yet. According to Music Radar, people close to Maggie Baugh have privately said she's been overwhelmed by the attention and that she's focused only on her career. One friend claimed Maggie sees Keith as a mentor and nothing more, adding that the speculation has made things awkward and unfair. And that's understandable. She's a rising artist, and the last thing she wants is to be labeled as the other woman in someone else's marriage drama. Still, whether she likes it or not, her name is now tied to one of Hollywood's biggest breakups of the year.
As for Nicole and Keith, both are reportedly trying to keep things civil for the sake of their two daughters, Sunday Rose and Faith Margaret. They've agreed to joint custody, with Nicole being the primary guardian, according to legal documents obtained by E!News. But even though things seem calm on paper, insiders say emotions are still raw. Keith is said to be leaning on his music to get through the breakup, while Nicole has thrown herself into filming her upcoming project with director Taylor Sheridan. And here's a little extra tea. Rumor has it that Nicole has already been approached by several major outlets for a tell-all interview. If that happens, we might finally hear her side of the story. Would you watch that interview? Because I definitely would.
When you think about it, this whole situation shows how fast celebrity narratives can spiral. One video clip, one social media post, and suddenly two people are accused of an affair. But truth might be completely innocent, or it might not be. But either way, the public fascination says a lot about how invested we are in celebrity relationships. Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban were once the picture-perfect couple. Beautiful, successful, and devoted. And now, their love story has turned into one of Hollywood's most talked about breakups. So here's where things stand right now. Nicole's friend says the rumors about Keith and Maggie are false. Maggie hasn't commented, Keith is staying quiet, and the internet? Well, the internet is doing what it does best: speculating, dissecting, and waiting for the next move. As for Nicole, she's keeping her head high, showing up to events with grace, and reminding everyone why she's one of Hollywood's classiest stars. And Keith? He's doing what he's always done, putting his emotions into his music. But between the songs, the glances, and the timing,
something tells me this story isn't over yet. So what do you think? Is this just another Hollywood rumor? Or could there be something deeper happening behind the scenes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm really curious what you think about this one.
If you want to stay updated on this story and every major celebrity twist that hits Hollywood, make sure to subscribe, because the next few weeks are going to be very interesting, and I'll be right here breaking it all down for you.